Welcome to Small Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
All right. Welcome in to Small Business Saturday. Hopefully everybody's having a great Saturday so far. It is Halloween here, 2020. So, and then daylight savings time tomorrow. So as everything gets set back to normal and, basically tomorrow is the end of this crazy 2020 that we've been having, right? All right. That's what we're going to go with. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But my name's Aaron Montgomery and you can find me right up here at oursuccessgroup.com. And hopefully everybody is having a great day. As I mentioned, Jerry, good afternoon. Thanks for being here and checking in. All right. So this week, guys, this is the third week. So it's a 10-week program on success principles. And I'm excited because I feel like this is something really worth sharing. The more I get into the success principles, the more I personally, it's changed my life and for the better. And so I love learning about this. And I also truly believe that one of the best ways that I can learn about something is also in an attempt to teach something. So that's what we're here to talk about. We're going to talk about clarifying our ideal life today. And, and we'll get into this more, but when we talk about clarifying your ideal life, you might ask, well, Aaron, this is Small Business Saturdays. Correct. And the reason we're in business, the reason we're doing the things that we're doing is to get that balance of our life, to be able to do the things that we want to do in our life. But if we don't know what those things are, then all of the business stuff doesn't really matter. So we're going to talk about all those things here. And we're going to hear from Mr. Canfield here in just a little bit, Jack Canfield, who is the author of The Success Principles. But many of you would know him as the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul series. So that's his kind of claim to fame and a really great guy. So I'm excited to share him with you guys here in just a moment. But let's check in here. We got Paul. Hello. Thank you for being here, Paul. And Leanne and Jerry. Good luck with that and the silly virus. Yes. I'm hoping that this whole, because everybody said that the whole craziness of 2020 started when we did the daylight savings time. And so now that we're going to shift everything back, maybe we'll get back in line. But anyhow, all right. So Kelly, hello. Oh, there's Kelly. Hey, I'm glad that you're here, Kelly. Thanks for joining us here. And Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you. It's been a little while, so great to see you. Hopefully everything's going great for you on this Saturday. Actually, this is a great opportunity for me to remind Kylene, if she's listening in, to get over to Ruth's site. She needs some new fun shirts to offer for some of her influencers. So I think she found some great ones on your site there, Ruth. All right. So let me get to my notes here, make sure that I'm covering the things we want to talk about. As I mentioned, we're here in the third week. We're going to work on bringing more clarity to our ideal life and business. But here's what I need from you guys. Those of you guys that are tuning in here live right now, I need your feedback. I need your sharing. Who here caught week 1 and week 2, or just one or the other? Let me know if you caught those weeks. And then the second thing I need to know from you is did you do the exercises? Did you go to the worksheet, fill out the information, and participate? So while you guys are doing that, I want to talk about week 1 here real quick. Week 1, we worked on our life purpose. So while you guys are telling me if you caught week 1 or week 2, if you did catch week 1 and you did week 1 and you actually filled it out all the way and got down to a life purpose statement, I don't care if it's exactly right. In fact, it's going to continue to change over time. But I've got my shirt here. I'm going to move the mic out of the way for 1 second so everybody can see it. Okay. Says the greatest danger to most of us is not that we aim. Anyhow, I can't read it upside down right now. The mic's in the way, but it's my Michelangelo quote. It just slipped my mind completely because I'm putting myself on the spot here. But I love the quote. I also like the shirt. It's a Bella Canvas BC 3001. It is the part number. So I know you guys are shirt people, but whoever is the first person to share here in the chat their life purpose statement from the week 1 worksheet, I will send you your own shirt. This I won't send the one I'm wearing. I will send you a brand new one printed just for you. You tell me the size, and I will send you your own shirt. But that's going to be for the first person who, right here in the chat, either on YouTube or on Facebook here, types in your life purpose. So I'll be looking for that throughout here, and then I'll direct message you and get the details to send you that shirt. So that's the first thing. In week 2, we worked on deciding what we want for our life and our business. So how many goals did you guys get on your goal list, on your 101 goals list, the I want list? And who has something to share there? Because here's one of the things that Jack talked about last week, and one of the things that I think is really important, is that we have to share what our wants are. And a lot of times we hold back from that because we feel like we're being, I don't know the right word exactly, but like we're being needy, or maybe we're wanting too much. It's materialistic, whatever those things might be that are holding you back from sharing what you want. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, as humans, we thrive on being able to support each other. That's how we reached the level we reached as humans, is we work together as a community. We can come together and work for the greater good. And if you are thinking about that, then, and you think about sharing what you want, because if you're reaching your greatest purpose in life, through your business, through whatever you're doing, through the community that you support, all of those things, then if everybody was doing that, we would have a great society. We wouldn't have all of the fighting and the terrible things that are happening, and we'd have a way better world to live in. But part of the reason we don't live our best lives is people aren't willing to put out there what they want. I'm not saying that you just need to throw it out there and then wait and expect it to come to you. What I'm saying is you need to throw it out there, work towards it. But when you've thrown it out there and then you're working towards it, things are going to come into your life at the right times. Things are going to come into your business at the right times that will support that. It probably won't look anything like you thought it might, but something's going to happen along the way if you've put it out there that these are the things that I want and these are the things that I'm working towards. So it's a combination of, yes, you've got to do the work, and yes, you've got to support yourself, and yes, you've got to put the effort into your business. But the other side of it is, yes, you have to share what it is that you want from your business, why it is important that your business is successful. What is it that you're doing? What is that life purpose connection to these things? So that's where that I want list comes from. It is that need to put that stuff out there, because once we put it out there, then you're able to get the support that you need to grow it. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, first and foremost, share your life purpose. If you've done that, and if you went through that worksheet, and the first one to do that will get a Michelangelo quote t-shirt from me. And so that's the first part. But even if you maybe missed the first one and you just want to share what your life purpose is, I'll share mine, to provide resources that empower business owners to achieve their idea of success. And so that's what it is. Now I can take and break that down and get more specific about what resources are, and what empowerment means to me, and why business owners and the achievement of success and your idea of success and all that other stuff. But at its core, my life purpose is to provide resources that empower business owners to achieve their idea of success. So with that, then everything else grows from there. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys. And I also have to give credit to Todd Downing. He has helped me get that clarification and build that. And that's really what our success group's built on, is that mission. So I know I take ownership of it. But at the end of the day, Todd has been a huge supporter and helping get to that point. And, I think he feels a lot. In fact, I know he feels a lot the same way. And so it works out perfectly. It's a great partnership for us. All right. So with all that being said, I'm going to give you guys time to share. And again, the other thing I'd love to hear from you is what's holding you back? What's holding you back from sharing? What's holding you back from doing these things? What's holding you back from believing in yourself enough to put an I want list out into the world? So those are things that we need to discuss. We need to, that's one of the reasons why I do Small Business Saturdays, is I want that feedback. I want to understand that from you guys, and I want you guys to have a platform to put that out there into a safe space where everybody's going to really, support each other. And that's what our success group and Small Business Saturday community is all about. So Eric says, let me get Jerry here. A terrific message, really needed in this time. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. And this is definitely something I need to work on more. Mr. Campbell, Eric, you absolutely 100%. I just want to make sure you know that, but I'm putting this out there in public for everybody else to hear as well, to hold me accountable to this should I need that. But that anytime that I can support you in any of that, my number. All right, man. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and hear from Mr. Canfield here real quick. And it's a little bit longer today, but I think it's really a great message. And then we'll come back and talk more about it. I see today being a little bit longer than the weeks past, but I think it's going to be totally worth it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. So let's get that added to the stream, get me out of the way, make that full screen, and we are off to the races.
And I'm thinking you did do the homework last week. So make sure you did if you didn't. Now, here's where we're going. We're going to take this from the I want list to something much, much broader. I want you to start thinking about your ideal vision of your ideal life. And what I mean by that, look about 3 to 5 years out. If you could have anything you wanted, you were living the perfect ideal life, the house you want, the job you want, the career you want, the support team you want, the vacations, the health, the whatever, what exactly would it be? And we're going to look at 7 areas of your life. These are 7 critical areas that you want to be having goals and vision of clarity of what it is you want in these areas. Because if you fulfill your goals in all of these areas, what happens, you'll have a totally balanced and fulfilling life. We're going to look at 7 areas. We're going to look at your finances. What's your financial vision? What are your relationships vision? Your job and career vision? Your health and fitness vision? Like we'll delve in more specifically in each of these in just a minute. And also your fun and recreation. A lot of people leave that out. They don't set goals for their fun and recreation. How much fun do you want to have and with whom? We're going to look at an area called personal, which has to do with anything you want to do just because you want to do it. It also includes your personal growth goals, your spiritual goals, and your psychological goals, how many books you read, educational goals, things like that, and then contribution. So these are the 7 areas. Now you have a PDF handout, which has these 7 areas in it and a place for you to write down your vision. And I'm going to briefly walk you through each of these 7 areas. But what I want you to do is, beyond this video that we're doing right now that you're watching, I want you to set aside some time in the next day. We know if you don't do something within the next 24 to 48 hours, you're likely to never do it. So we want to make sure you do it immediately and take some time to really go deep. If you really want to go deep, I recommend you get into a room, put on some very calming music, and then really close your eyes and then go inside and say, if I could have anything I wanted in this area of finance, what would it be? Anything I wanted in the area of relationships, what would it be? And then let your mind come up with the answer. Sometimes it'll come as words, sometimes as pictures and visions, sometimes thoughts, whatever it might be. Just allow yourself to go deeper, because there's a part of you that knows exactly what you need and want in order for you to feel fulfilled. So let's talk about those 7 areas really quickly. Most people never take the time to sit down and do this. You're going to be one of like about 3% of the people in the world that do it. And as a result of that, you can be one of the 3% of the people in the world that are very, very happy and very, very wealthy and very, very abundant. So the first area is finance. And we want to think about, what is your annual income in your ideal vision? If you're a business owner, what is your cash flow? Because sometimes you don't want all the cash to only come in December. You want it to be balanced out throughout the year. What is your net worth? How much money do you have in savings, stocks, and bonds? How much money do you want to have when you retire? Do you have financial advisors? Do you have, investment advisors? Do you have someone that is a brokerage firm that can help you? Do you belong to a investment club? So you look at all the areas of your finance, and that's your ideal vision. And then the next area has to do with your, let's say, job and career. Where do you want to be working? Are you working with someone, for someone? Do you have your own business? What kind of colleagues do you have? What kind of staff? What kind of consultants? Who are your vendors if you're running a company or a retail operation? So you want to make sure that the kind of people you want to work with, not the idiots and the jerks, but really people that are fun, enthusiastic, supportive, encouraging, and willing to go out there and be successful. And you also want to look at what kind of clients you have, or what kind of clients are you serving, or what kind of customers do you have. So you look at all the areas of your job and your career, and how would you be operating? And then the next area you want to look at is relationships. Your primary relationship, like your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You want to look at your relationships with your family. Maybe there's someone you want to heal a relationship with. You're happily getting along with your brother or your sister-in-law or your mother-in-law. And also you want to look at your friends. How many friends do you have? And what do you do with those friends? Do you go on vacation? Do you play softball? What's that look like in your life as well? And then your children and your parents. So all of that is like, what is your ideal vision? Do you have kids? Are you happily married? Are you divorced from the person you don't like to be married to now? What does that ideal vision of your relationships look like? When I first moved to Santa Barbara, where I live, I didn't have any friends, and I didn't like my wife's friends' husbands. They weren't in the same interest level that I was with things. And so I made a commitment that I would go out and meet people, at least one man a week. I'd say, let's go to dinner, and I'd get to know them, and I'd start to develop friends. And my goal was 7 friends in 1 year. So how many friends do you want to have? And what do you want to do with them? The next area you want to look at is health and fitness. Your ideal health. Are you pain-free? Are you flexible? Are you strong? How many push-ups can you do? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to run a 10K? Do you want to I set a goal to do 100 push-ups once, and got to 81 before I hurt my shoulder. But the point being, look at every aspect of your life. Exercise. Do you want to join a club? Do you want to have a trainer? Do you want to be doing yoga, Pilates, lifting weights, whatever it might be? Ideal health and fitness. And then you want to look at the area of fun and recreation. How many vacation days do you want to take each year? What would be fun for you to do that you're not doing? Maybe there's a hobby you'd like to be pursuing more, or taking lessons for the piano or guitar or something like that. Maybe you want to have a rock band, as I said. Maybe you want to do something like you go off on an adventure in the world. Maybe you join an archaeological team and you go unearth an Egyptian tomb, or you want to travel around the world in a sailboat. Whatever it is that you want to do that you think would be fun and would be recreation for you. Maybe you want to learn to play tennis, lower your golf score, your ideal vision of that. And then I want you to look at an area called personal. And personal is that thing. It's a lot of things. Like, what do you want to own? What do you want to have? What do you want to do just for the sake of doing it? Maybe you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. You want to go to Machu Picchu or the Great Wall of China. There's a wonderful book called 1,001 Places to Visit in the World. Go through that and figure out some of the places you'd like to go. And also for fun and recreation, can include like learning 10 jokes so you can be more fun at a party, whatever it might be. Maybe you want to take dancing lessons. And then you have the area of contribution. Contribution is making a difference in the world. What areas do you care about? Do you want to volunteer some time, give some of your money to certain charities? And pick charities that mean something to you. What would you like to make a difference? You want to end poverty? Do you want to help global warming stop so we have environmental sustainability? Do social justice issues turn you on? Whatever it might be, find some way to make a difference. So the key thing for this week is to look at each of those 7 areas, and I want you to write out a clear vision of what it would look like for you. You can't get it if you can't see it. One of my friends, Bob Proctor, says, You first have to see it in your mind before you can see it in your hand. And so creating this vision is important. And then what I want you to do each day for the rest of the week, I want you to read through that vision. If you really want to go for it, read it first thing in the morning and read it right at night before you go to bed. And this will start to then Velcro into the subconscious mind, which we're going to talk more about, and how that will accelerate you to achieve your vision so you can have everything you want. So make sure you do the homework, and we'll see you next week.
All right, there we go. So definitely great stuff. I've seen this several times and obviously seen a lot of his stuff, and I just it's something every time, something goes off and happens. So appreciate it. You guys all jumping in and sharing here. Jerry says, great topic. I've really been working on this a lot. We're going to go through the worksheet here in just one second, but I did share the worksheet here in the links. I think I got it both on YouTube and on Facebook, and we'll get that out there. Paul, this is a fantastic question. I don't have them right in front of me right now for me to share directly right here, but I'll put them in the comments, and they are in the previous videos, but we'll put them up here just as soon as I can get to them. So yeah, I think this is awesome. If you're catching just this third week, if we can go back to week 1 and week 2 and do those parts, it's really a cool experience. And I'm not trying to be too out there and too wooey, but I really do feel like this can be a life-changing experience for people. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. So appreciate you guys being here and sharing this passion with me. I want your feedback. I want to hear what's holding you back from doing these things. Part of it is I just got to get it in front of you guys more readily, so if it's not popping up, then unfortunately it's not. Curtis asked, did you get my email that I sent last night? Curtis, I did not get that email. I'll have to take a look and see if maybe it got buried in a spam folder or something like that. But I'll definitely take a look after the program here, Curtis, for sure. So, all right. So again, Mr. Canfield just got done talking to us about looking at all the different areas of our lives. And again, we're here on Small Business Saturdays. So, I imagine at certain times you might be wondering, well, what the heck does this have to do with my business? But I think this has to do a ton with our business, because we have to understand why we're doing the things we do. We build our business, we work the extra hours, we put in the sacrifices and the heartaches and the pains, because we're trying to create our ideal life, our entire ideal life. And the cool part about this is that if we can get that in our head and we get that picture really clear, things start happening that we don't even realize are happening. And it's true. It's proven. It happens. It happens to a lot of people. And there's tons of testimonials about this kind of thinking. And so if we can understand what our ideal life is, then we can also then understand what we need to be doing in our business to get there. So I really am excited about sharing this kind of stuff through Small Business Saturdays, and we got 7 weeks to go. So lots of great stuff here. The other thing, Kylene's on our success group deal here. So we'll share what she's got. She may need to jump on the computer, I guess, to get over to her own personal comments. But this has been a wonderful process to become more clear what I want, and helps to be more intentional with We Heart Biz and life. Still a work in progress, for sure. Awesome. And I'm still a work in progress. So it's always a process. In fact, I think if you guys remember back on some of the other Small Business Saturdays we've done, and this is something I've talked about a lot, so hopefully you remember me saying this, but life is more like being a farmer. It's about going through cycles. So this exercise really helps get clear about all the different cycles in our life. So let's go. Jerry says, I missed last week, so I appreciate where I may have missed. What has been holding me back? Me. There you go, Jerry. And one thing to do is if you didn't miss them, the videos are all still there. So you just go back into the Small Business Saturdays to last week, or you head over to liveosg.com. There is a Small Business Saturdays playlist, and I believe they're all up to date with the latest and greatest there, so you can catch last week's. And again, I'll get those in the comments here on both Facebook and YouTube, all of the worksheets and stuff like that. So try to get that all in front of you guys. So speaking of worksheets, let's do that. Let me share a screen here, and let's take a look at that. Okay, now we're going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. All right. So we've got that there. In fact, let me make a move on my side over here so I can see both at the same time. All right. So this vision exercise, and he goes through and tells you. Now, here's definitely an important piece, and I found that when I did this, it definitely helped a lot more. But you got to carve out some time, so maybe get yourself a half hour that it can just be you. In a quiet room, no distractions, phones off, the whole works, some meditative music, some relaxing music, quiet and comfortable. The more you can kind of control that environment, the better your brain's going to work for you in this. And so, I close my eyes and subconscious and getting into all that. So we go through that and then just talks about, okay, first we're going to focus on the financial areas of life. How much money do we need or want, or cash flow and savings, investments, net worth, all that kind of stuff. Just close your eyes and kind of visualize what that looks like, because we can say numbers and things like that, but we got to get the pictures in our head. Okay. It's the pictures that matter, and home. And so he goes through all this, gives you the step-by-step here. You got a couple pages of just the step-by-step, and I'll let you guys read that on your own. You don't need me reading that to you here, but it's all right there for you. But this last part here, he says, you can write down your answers as you go, or you can do the whole exercise first and then open your eyes and write them down. In either case, make sure you capture everything in writing as soon as you complete the exercise. Now, here is my recommendation. Again, you guys do what's going to be best for you, but here's my recommendation. My recommendation is to go through this entire thing in your head first. Get all the way through every single one of them. And then if you can start writing, maybe you're going to write a little bit of an outline, but then I'd go back through and I'd refocus on each area one by one then next. And so I'm refocusing on area one. And then as soon as I get done refocusing on area one, I go back to my kind of outline or bullet points that I had from the overall write down. And then I start writing in the details, get as much of those details in. There's no right or wrong answers. There's no too little, too small, too big, too whatever. This is whatever you write down is perfect. Whatever you write down is 100% correct. All right. So just start writing it down, write it down, write it all down, then go to the next section, segment, whatever you want to call that, and close your eyes again, go back through and just really focus on that section. Try to, walk through the whole thing, see the details, see where you're going to be, what things look like, all the details that you can get in your head, just visualizing it. We're creating this in our mind. And I always love this kind of thing because I get to sit here and just dream about what could be or what's going to be. And that's the best part, is we're really designing what's going to be. We're going to get through all of the areas of our lives, but you should be doing this with your business too. What does it all look like from point A to point B? And then you kind of go through it. So then you're going to write this all down. And as he said, every day you want to review this and you keep your conscious and subconscious mind focused on your vision. And here's what happens is when we read through this stuff every day and when we're focused on this stuff, we are now living and creating our own lives, our own businesses, our own realities. We're not living somebody else's. We're not just kind of mindlessly going through the days. What we're doing is we're focused on that. We're creating those things. That doesn't mean that you have to be all work all the time. What that means is now you know what it is that's important to you. Now you know what you're trying to get to. And, this could be 3 years, 5 years, it could be 10 years. Maybe your dreams are so big and amazing that it's going to take a little bit longer. None of these things are going to start happening today specifically, but the little things will start happening today, but they're so little that you won't notice them. But over a period of time, those little things will make a big difference. So you've got your financial, your home, your material possessions, your career, free time and recreation, health and body, your relationships, your personal vision, your community vision. And so there you go. And let me pop this one more time into the comments in case anybody missed it. And we'll put that in there. And then Jerry says, me too, and not keeping myself as a priority every day. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that. Let me get back to my notes here because I did have a couple of other things. So the reason why this is so important, several more reasons why this is so important compared to what we've already talked about. But one of the things that really kind of was a light bulb moment for me was as I was learning this stuff, I was thinking about this stuff. Somebody asked me one time, they said, okay, close your eyes, think about Thanksgiving. And, I closed my eyes, thought about Thanksgiving, all the things that's going on. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. Great. And then he said to me, are you thinking about the word Thanksgiving, the black and white, Thanksgiving, or are you thinking about the smells, the sounds, the family, the whatever it is that Thanksgiving means to you? And when I started thinking about it that way, I realized that, I don't think about Thanksgiving as like this black and white word. When I think about Thanksgiving, I think about everything around it. I think about the vision, the smell, the sounds, that whole outer experience. And so if you think about your life and your business in the same fashion, it makes it more real. So even if you're dreaming it, if you can make it real in your head, that tension between what you're making real in your head and what your current reality is will start to change over time. And again, these things aren't going to happen today, might not even happen next week. In fact, you might not even see any noticeable differences in a month, but a couple months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And here's what makes it so difficult is that what we normally do is we kind of go, okay, well, here's where I'm at now. And it's just slightly better than where I was at, a month ago. But when we compound that over time, and if I go back to where I was at a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago, and I compared that difference, then it becomes oh my gosh, that's a big difference. That's a big wow. And yes, there are going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be times you look back and go, man, I wish I was kind of back there. Well, then there you go. Now you have to recreate that vision to make it to where you're where you want to be. Most of the time what happens to us is we just we've lost track of the vision because things have happened to us. Things will happen around us and things out of our control that make life crummy. COVID hits, things happen in our lives. These things all happen, but if we can do our best to remain committed to that vision, then we'll be able to move forward. So hopefully that makes sense. I want to share with you my vision for our success group. So that way you guys can kind of get an understanding of what my vision is, because I want to share it, but also just kind of the way it developed in my head. So hopefully that gives you guys something to work from. But for me, our success group, when I'm envisioning kind of at its success point and where I feel like we've gotten to that apex and then figuring out what then the next apex is. But right now the apex for me is I want 1,000 people in our Masters of Success program. That means 200 different groups, That means some of our original Masters of Success members and our Success Group community will be leading these groups. So it'll be a whole community where everybody's lifting each other up to success. My personal day is going to consist of kind of coordinating the details, making sure we're continuing to move towards that vision of the mission statement that I have taped right in front of me here, to provide resources that empower business owners to achieve their idea of success. My day also kind of consists of reviewing those goals and wins that people are having, and making sure that I'm sharing those with them. Because again, like I said, we might look back and go, okay, well, I'm just this much further ahead today than where I was last week. But over the long term, we sometimes forget how much further ahead that we are, and we need to celebrate those things. In fact, I'm terrible at that right now. And so that's one of my visions, is getting better at looking back over the longer term and going, yeah, okay, cool. We're doing the right things. Let's change these things, but let's celebrate those wins. So I'm getting a lot of feedback so I'm going back to my vision here real quick. Sorry. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from folks about the successes that they're achieving, via emails and sharing and different things. I also have a book that I've written about starting a business for success. And through that book, I'll be doing trainings and webinars and podcasts and other events to share the book. Todd and I will be going into businesses as a way to take a look at them and help them from the ground up build to their next level. And really kind of my greatest reward, and what just kind of makes me float on cloud nine, is seeing the folks in the community that are now at that next level, and that are now also teaching other people how to do that, how to grow themselves in their community and things like that. So that's my vision for our Success Group. So let me know, again, what your guys' things are, what you're thinking, where you're at, all those other fun and exciting things. If anybody has from week one their life purpose, again, the shirt is on the line here. So whoever shares that first from week one will get a free Michelangelo quote t-shirt here. All right. So anybody have any of that? Anybody have an I want list that they've put together that they'd like to share? And again, if not, what's holding you back from that? Kylene, I believe you're listening in. Where are you at with your list? I know you've been working on it. So what's that look like for you? How many numbers are you at? Like I said, I was going for 101, and I'm still at 98, I believe. Let me go and look at it here. It's on my personal website, and so I'm at 98. So here we go. I'm going to post that in the comments here. All right, so you guys can go look at that. All right, so like I said, I understand that things happen. I understand that things can be a bit of a challenge at times. I can't say that I've lived through all of the challenges, but there's been plenty of challenges in my life too. And but I know at the end of the day, if we can take 100% responsibility for creating our own reality by putting in the work, and then asking ourselves the question, what are we pretending not to know? So that's how we answer what's holding us back. So what is it that we're pretending not to know? Or what is it that we're pretending we can't get beyond? Because all of that stuff, it is pretending. I know that deep down in my heart, I know this 100%, that you deserve the life and business that you desire. I 100% know that you deserve it 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that anybody that commits to doing this doesn't deserve what they create. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to scratch, claw, do whatever it takes to find the time to do these things. To go back through, like I said, I'm going to put the links to the first couple in there if you want to go back through those and redo that. And it might not change your life today or even the next month. But if you do these things and you follow these principles and make small daily improvements, it's going to change your life. One of the things that I use as an excuse for a long time and that I hear a lot too, is that I just don't have the time or whatever. There's that kind of easy, oh, well, I'm just so busy. Life's just so busy. Well, my rebuttal to that, and the thing that I had to do for myself to rebut that, was that if life is so busy to not do these things, I would say that it's actually the opposite of that. Life is busy because I didn't do these things. And so now I am living somebody else's reality, somebody else's desires, somebody else's life that they've created for me, or I'm just sleepwalking through life. And if I force the time, like I said, scratch, claw, do whatever it takes. If I force the time to do these things, to take these actions, and they're just small actions. I mean, we're talking about spending half hour to an hour a week doing each of these little exercises. And again, I will go back in there and make sure that you guys have all of that stuff. In fact, I'll cut out all the junk and just give you Mr. Canfield's direct links to all this stuff. And you spend the 5 to 8 minutes listening to him one more time, do the worksheet, and it's a half hour a week or half hour a day, if you want to go faster. And so there we go. Let me know what you guys have. Let me know what feedback you guys have. And again, I'm still looking for it. I will leave that open. We'll leave this open until the first person sends me what their life purpose statement is from week number 1. All right. So any other questions before we close it up here for the day? And while you guys are having a moment to kind of take all that in, kind of felt a little soapboxy today, but I really do truly believe in this stuff, and I really do truly believe in you guys. So if I have to get a little soapboxy to motivate you guys to action, I'm willing to do that. If you need something else, let me know. We'll figure out a way to do this together. All right. Speaking of figuring out a way, and again, waiting to hear from you guys still at the same time. So don't feel like you can't go and make the comments that you wanted to make, even though I've kind of moved on here for a moment. But I want to put this up here real quick. Where did it go? I just had it. And then, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Moved on that. All right. So oursuccessgroup.com/success, ST for success tracker. Easy for me to say, right? Oursuccessgroup.com/ST. I'm curious, for those of you that aren't in the program, I know a lot of people that have been commenting are already in the program. So kudos to you guys. High five. You've got that formula there. So keep working that formula. Do the best you can to have 5 things you're going to do to reach that goal every day, and make that part of this vision. Here's the fun part about all this stuff. I know we're talking about different things, and you want to kind of figure out what your life purpose is, and then you want to review what your visions are, and you're going to have your 5 things that you're working on. But if you make this a process at the start of every morning, we're talking 20, 30 minutes. And you can sit down with a cup of coffee and have 20, 30 minutes to just put this stuff together, read this stuff, and start your day with so much refreshment and just feeling of empowerment. It's really an awesome thing, but you got to do the work to get to that point where you can, just kind of carve out that time in the morning, get up 20 minutes early, or just tell your family, hey, you know what? I have to do this. If you want me to be the best husband, wife, mom, dad, whatever, you are to the people around you, then I need this time for me. And it's going to, like I said, 20, 30 minutes, and find a quiet corner, or just make sure everybody knows, so they're not bothering you for that 20, 30 minutes. And then when you're done, you say, okay, cool. I'm great. I'm ready. Thank you so much. And you're moving on. So back to the success tracker. Okay. Success tracker. So if you have not signed up, I would love to know what's holding you back from signing up. It's a $25 investment that not only gets you some fun stuff, but you're also going to get that formula that I mentioned. You're going to get a supporting community. You're going to get accountability. And really, if you're not part of the OSG community already, it's a great introduction into seeing what could be for you. So again, if you haven't signed up already, I'd love to know what's holding you back from that. If there's some things we need to clarify, whatever it is that you need to feel comfortable with being a part of that program, I would love to know. All right. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. And so unless anybody else has some other feedback or thoughts or want to share, this is the one thing I'm going to ask of you guys between now and week 4 here is I'm curious what. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Okay. Hold on. Okay, let me get to Jerry's question. Too many things going on. I apologize. I get lost sometimes. All right, but let me ask my questions, and I'll come back to the comments here. So my question is this: what do we need to do inside of this 10-week program here? So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 left. What do I need to do inside of this format to be able to give you guys the best opportunity to interact with it? It's one thing for me to share, and hopefully you guys are able to take the information that I'm sharing and the information that Jack Canfield's sharing and use it. But I think it could be so much more powerful for you if you just share, you just put yourself out there, jump a little bit out of your comfort zone. I mean, we're amongst friends here. Okay. There's no reason, there's nobody going to talk down to you. I won't allow it to happen. I want you guys to feel comfortable sharing and just putting it out there. There is no right or wrong answers. So, whatever I need to do inside this format to make that more comfortable for you, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate understanding that so we can make this interaction each week something more amazing for you. All right. Here we go. So let me get to the Ruth. Thanks for being here. Jerry, thank you very much. Mayra, thank you for being here as well. Okay. Where are these videos living at, Aaron, for future reference? That's a fantastic question. There are a couple of places. So let's start with, and I'm going to just go to them and so I can share the links. And you know what? Let's just do this. I'm going to put this on the screen to make this even more fun for everybody. All right, let me get rid of the banner. Where are you? Okay. We're just going to use that one. And there we go. Let me get rid of this banner. And so we're going to start on the YouTube side. liveosg.com is where we're headed to. And so on the YouTube side, and I've got my TubeBuddy up, so you guys probably won't see all this. I'll close that. So got the live video there, but then if you go to playlist here, you should see the Small Business Saturdays full playlist. And we won't, but you can, so here's week 2 right over here. Here's week 1. I've uploaded a few other ones along the way just to have some more content in there for you. But so there's week 1. And oops, did I just do it? I think I did. Yep, I did. Okay. So there. We're going to get back to week 1 and I will share that in there. It's always fun to do this live. Okay. So there's week 1 on YouTube, and we will go to week 2, and I'll put that in the comments here. I won't spend any more time there on that, but let's go to quiet, please. Okay. We're going to go to Facebook now and, check that out so you guys can see where to find all that stuff and get back to them. So if I go to Facebook and then I just go to our success group, it's Facebook here. So it's facebook.com/our success group pro. And if I go to, and we'll view as visitor here, so it gets a little more weight like what you guys will be seeing. If you go into more, and then you go to videos and you got most popular, latest videos, but then I've got a playlist here of all the Small Business Saturdays stuff. So you should be able to see that. I'll make sure that these are all updated, but here's week 1. I'll have week 2 in there just as soon as we get done, and week 3. So yes, Jerry, you will be able to watch as this as a recording. They're all right here in the video section of our Success Group Pro over there on Facebook. And yeah, so there we go. Hopefully that helps you guys find all that. And that's everything I got for you today. So thank you guys so much for your time. And if you have any other questions or anything that you need, you can always find me at email too at success@oursuccessgroup.com. And excited for next week. Week 4 is going to be the next phase in our Success Principles training. So tune in for week 4, same time, 12:30 Central Time on Saturday. All right. Look forward to seeing everybody then. Have a great day.